And he is doing a screen share right now with with some of the questions that have been asked. And we did get some feedback from CHRC staff to provide more information or clarity on the initial answers that we provided with Allegheny and Garrett County. So we will not do official introductions since this is I will let you know who I am and who our staff are that are in the room with me today. But if you feel okay introducing yourself if you have a question or you want to make a comment about the RFA for the Lindsay, what's it called again? I always forget the name of it. Coordinated
Community Supports
Partnerships. Yes, thank you, Lindsay, for that. You can feel free to introduce yourself if you so choose to do that. That'd be great. But the meeting is being recorded. I think I just said that. We are transcribing. You'll be able to see the notes as well. Just to let people know, we'll go over the timeline first before we do the questions. Lindsay, we're expecting the service provider proposals on the 17th of January.
Yes, next Friday, the 17th.
And some of you may have been on the meeting earlier this week with the Community Health Resource Commission. They do have 2 new budget templates, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're supposed to be much easier. I know Brianna, who's in the room with us now, our accountant, was saying that she really liked the revisions that were made to the budget templates. So it shouldn't be overly complicated for people to complete and submit. That does have, and all of that comes to our office. And then we have a team, our hub team, as I call it, our hub crew, that'll kind of review the service provider proposals, and the school staff from Allegheny and Garrett County are included in that. And there are no letters of support that are needed by service providers because we will be submitting the service provider request with our hub proposal as a complete package for this time. So there's no separate service providers allowed to be submitted with the Allegheny and Garrett County Track 1 proposal. So I will let people do introductions with our office, and then to the Allegheny County people that are part of our hub team, because I think most of them have joined us already. So we'll start in the office with me. Well, I already told you who I am. I'm Fred Pulse Jr. I work with the Garrett County Local Behavioral Health Authority and Local Manager Board Office. We'll start with our newest employee, who is...
Hi, I'm Katie Sheetal. I'm the program coordinator for the hub. And I'm excited to be here. I started Wednesday, so third day.
So Katie's already asked me if I'm going to ask her to say anything, and I told her I will only do that if I want you to share something. So I might just call her name out just to see if she's okay with sharing. Lindsay?
Lindsay Broadwater with the Garrett County Local Behavioral Health Authority and Local Management Board.
Sadie Lillard, Local Behavioral Health Authority, Local Management Board.
And Brianna Graham, I'm fiscal staff person for the Local Management Board and Local Behavioral Health Authority. And now
Yes. So that's the Garrett County version of our hub team. We'll start. I think Justin joined us from the Allegheny County Local Behavioral Health Authority.
Yes, I'm here. Hey, everyone. I'm Justin Davis. I'm the director at the LBHA here in Allegheny County.
Great. Thanks, Justin. Tracy Duncourt.
Yes, good morning. Tracy Duncourt, Assistant Supervisor of Student Services at Allegheny County Public Schools.
Great. Thanks, Tracy. Lindsay Struben.
Hi, everyone. Lindsay Struben, Garrett County Public Schools. I am the pupil personnel worker, and I am joining today because John Hummel could not be here.
Yes. All right. Thank you all. So
I think I saw Deb join us.
Deb, could you join us?
Yes, good morning. I'm Amy Phoebe. I'm Director of Special Ed and Student Services in Allegheny County.
Great, thanks, Deb. All right, so that's the Allegheny part of the hub crew, and we can now get started with any comments or questions that anyone has. And as we go through this, I just want people to know the current service providers, you may have read through the RFA already that there's an expectation that service providers that are currently funded will be included in this new proposal. But what we want the current service providers to do is still respond to the questions that were sent out in the RFA announcement for these meetings. I think there's, Lindsay, you and Jillian developed the questions that came from the RFA. So we don't want you all to do a 10 to 12 page report to us. Like CHRC said we could have asked for that, but we didn't want to put that burden on service providers, whether current or new. But just answer those questions. If you have questions about the questions, you can send us an email. I think it was in the RFA meeting announcement who to contact for those. Lindsay may have put her name and email address in there, I think, or mine.
Yours, I think.
Okay, so that's good. And any questions so far from agencies considering, service providers considering, or current service providers that have any questions about what's supposed to happen for this next large group submission to the CHRC? And we can have, I know you all received the questions in the email that went out, but we can scroll down through there to see if there's anything new, if anybody has any more clarification needed on the answers that were already provided. And as you probably saw in the email, the red font is, and it does indicate that CHRC provided some feedback to the responses that we provided. Yes, Jane?
Yeah. Hi, good morning, Fred and everyone. For service providers who are not currently providing services in Garrett and Allegheny County who would like to apply, are we required to do more than you just described the current service providers are required to do in terms of what we need to submit?
No, you're not.
It's the same set of questions?
Yeah, the same questions. Just please complete, and I think we mentioned this in the first meeting, for the budget components, make sure that you all include any braided funding. If you have other grants or you have fee for service opportunities, include that in your budget explanation.
Okay.
But you don't have to do, we do not want to see a 10 to 12 page application from anyone.
Okay, great. Just the answers to the questions and the budget.
In the budget forms, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. And it might be good, I know I mentioned in the first meeting that we had that there are, and I mentioned it a couple other community meetings, that there are some services that both Allegheny, I shouldn't say both Allegheny and Garrett, but Allegheny County, for example, in the public school system, they've been really wanting to have some 0.5 substance abuse services, and especially in the high schools, to be able to be provided. That has not happened. I don't know if it's probably been for several years that's not been available. So if there are any providers that have the ability to provide 0.5, then those are the the educational stuff, early prevention, substance abuse prevention initiatives, where you talk with the student that's been identified as at risk. Tracy, Deb, and Lindsay can probably talk more about that, how they have pupil team meetings, or I think they're called pupil support, or what's the acronym I'm thinking of? School people.
It's pupil service teams.
Okay, yes, thanks. And so there might be students who are referred because they might indicate having some struggles with family members and or friends or themselves who are experimenting with or using alcohol and other drugs. And so the 0.5 services can allow a clinician to meet with them and do some general conversation, education type of stuff. So that's been happening in Garrett County for several years with some grant funds. And then for the younger grade levels, there's been some need expressed to have some de-escalation strategies to be taught to or to be worked with the staff to de-escalate verbal and physical aggression, if I'm not mistaken. And the Allegheny County people can, and Garrett County education people can validate that, maybe saying, yes, that's almost accurate, Fred, or no, that's totally off base.
I think it's a little accurate. I'm sorry. I think we were just having a lot of kids with behavioral issues, and especially there are a pre-K population, and maybe working with individuals or families, possibly teachers. It's difficult to pull a teacher out of instruction time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that question about taking teachers away from instructional time was asked in the first meeting.
Yes.
And I think Tracy, you or Deb had responded to that. Maybe John did as well, but
Yes.
and so if there are the community services or community-based providers that, or organizations that could, that would be able to be of help or assistance, and it may not be during the actual classroom time, it could be before or after school, potentially. I know the Garrett County Public School System had identified hoping to eventually be able to expand after-school programming. And it doesn't have to be just like the traditional after-school programs, but something for the high school grade levels they believe would be helpful. I'm not sure so much about Allegheny County or not. They may already have an existing after-school program for the high school students.
We do have some after-school programs for the younger students. I think there have been some services provided by a current provider with that population, at least last semester. The current semester, sorry.
Okay. Yes, Jane?
Yeah, is there a way that we could get more information about the after-school programming in both counties? The project that we are proposing is currently being implemented in after-school programs in Howard County, and that's turned out to be a really good setting to access elementary school children. So how might we get more information about the after-school programming in the two counties?
So we can provide information. We'll send it out to everybody that's on this email list to let you know what is currently provided in after-school programming in Garrett County. And then Justin, I think if you and maybe Tracy and Deb can get together and we can share all that in one email to everybody, just so there's more familiarity with what's currently happening with after-school programming.
Thanks very much.
Any other questions? Yes, Jessica?
Hi. Let me turn my camera on. So I'm not officially affiliated with the after-school program, but we are a service provider, and we are providing services in both the elementary and middle school after-school programs in Allegheny County. So I know that Tracy and folks can share the contact information there, but I just wanted to say for those who are curious, they run Monday through Thursday for the majority of the school year, but not the entire school year. And they have a number of programs that come in during various hours, but they also provide tutoring services and a meal. So it's about a 3-hour program. And during that time, they have a meal, other services, and mandatory tutoring. So there's about 1 hour per day for something else. So I hope that's helpful in your thinking about this.
Yes, thanks, Jessica. That's very similar to what happens in Garrett County as well. And just to clarify, if any of the service providers were wondering, when you submit if you choose to submit a proposal, you're not required to do services in both Allegheny and Garrett. So it would depend on, what your capacity is. So you might focus on Garrett and or Allegheny, maybe both, but it could be one or the other, depending on what's going on with the services you have. And take a look at the information that was put in with the attachments, the Allegheny County and Garrett County needs assessment information that might help identify to an easier extent the county that the services may be more helpful with. Any other thoughts? Any other questions? Was there anything I was supposed to mention? People in the room with me that I did not mention. We talked about current service providers. Anything else? Talked about the substance abuse stuff in Allegheny County.
That was it.
The aggressive, like the acting out behavior for younger age groups. Okay. So we do not have to stay active or live for the entire duration of this time. If there are no other questions or comments, we can let everyone go and get back to your wonderfully cold, although the sun is out now, I think. So that's better than having a lot of cloud cover and some snow falling. But there's another snowstorm moving in, I think, this weekend, from what I've been told. 7 tonight. So I'm sure I've got the alarms already on my phone. Yes, Jennifer.
Fred, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was in another meeting, so I missed the first couple minutes. Where will I be able to find the recording so that I can review what you guys said that I missed?
It'll be uploaded to, and we have to send it to, I have to get the recording first. And then I think John, who was with us, has to upload it, I think, and it'll probably go to I'm sure it'll either be on the health department website or the My Garrett County page that we have for our LBHA and LMB.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions, any other comments or points of discussion? Right. Well, we look forward to seeing some proposals, whether current or new or both. We don't care. We just want to be able to have some good things provided for the students, family members, and the community in general. And we will take a look at those on the 17th of January, right? I think that's what I said that earlier.
Yep.
But I'm getting confused between the 15th and 17th. Oh, I know why. There's another FAQ session for CHRC on the 15th of January. So if you want a last opportunity to ask some questions, a lot of us attend those, so we'll be able to help on there as well, but that's facilitated by CHRC. But they have a website. If you look on their page, you can submit questions beforehand. And I think that led them to revise the budget templates with some of the questions that people were asking, service providers were asking about the complexities of those previous budget templates. So it's all on their website now, the updated forms. And just take a look at that. And then please reference the questionnaire that was sent out with this email meeting notification. And that's what you have to complete for us. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We will call this meeting to close at around 11:22 a.m. There's still time for us to have an early lunch, maybe. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing proposals.